You describe the whole photo. You mention every person, and you still got CLB 6. Why? This is exactly what we are answering today, and the answer is going to change the way you approach task 3 forever. Guys, task 3 isn't a describing game. It never was. And every student who treated like one walks out of the test confused about their score. Actually, CELPIP isn't asking you to name what you see. We're asking you to communicate in an organized way, in a meaningful way, and of course, easy to follow. There is a difference between these two things. And today, we are going to hear that difference out loud. Same photo twice. And by the end of this video, you will never approach task 3 the same way again. Now, let me show you what most students actually sounds like. The sample I'm gonna play for you is a CLB 6 sample for task 3. Before anything, I have a question. While you listen, close your eyes. By just listening to that, would you understand what is happening in the photo without saying this? Would you feel it?
There are many people in this photo. On the left, there is a woman with an apron and she's cutting something. In the middle, there is a man with a green sweater. And beside him, there is a woman with a pink sweater. And she's holding a bowl. On the right side, there is an older man. And he's carrying a tray with some cups. In the background, there are more people standing. Maybe 5 or 6 people. Also, there is a clock on the wall. On the left side, there's also a bulletin board that says Community Center. In the front, there is a girl with pink clothes and she's using a grater, I think. And there are many potatoes on the table. Also, there is a boy near the sink and he's washing some vegetables. I think it is lettuce or spinach. There are also eggs on the counter. And there is another person cooking something on the stove.
Well, my honest reaction, everything on the surface was fine. Like the grammar was correct. Full sentences, 60 seconds fill. She described everything in the photo. So what went wrong? Everything. The structure, the thinking, the order, the delivery. Let me take it apart for you, one mistake at a time. Oh my God, the introduction was a disaster. This is where it all starts, guys. And where these students lost point before they even describe a single character. The very first sentence was, there are many people in this photo. That's not an introduction. This is someone who opened their mouth before they had a plan. Here is what the examiner actually needs in the first 5 seconds. We need 2 things. The setting, the overall situation, and the mood, the theme of that. That's it. 1 or 2 sentences is enough for us. But still, guys, here is what the examiner actually needs in the first 5 seconds. We need 2 things. First of all, the overall situation, the setting, describe that, and the mood, the theme of that, the feeling of that. That's it. 1 or 2 sentences. But those sentences build the entire frame for everything that comes after. And here is the part most students don't think about. The examiner can't see the photo while you're speaking, guys. Can you believe that, please? They are listening. So if you don't give them that upfront frame, every single detail you describe after, guys, it feels random. We don't understand. They are disconnected. It's like someone reading a recipe out loud and not cook. So what does a strong opening, guys, sound like? Let's see from here. Write these down, please. As you can see, at first glance, write these down, please. At first glance, the picture depicts, illustrate, depicts, show a busy and energetic environment. Okay. The scene appears to be crowded. Appears is a good keyword in task 3. And many individuals instead of people, please. use individuals, guys. This is very, and many individuals are engaged in different activities. So actually the second one is my favorite. There are many individuals engaging in different activities. This image captures a lively moment. So usually it's a crowded place. So adjectives like lively, crowded, chaotic, busy, undisciplined, they're common. By the way, captures a lively moment in what seems to be a public space, public place. And the last one, this image captures a lively moment in what seems to be a public place. Guys, notice what every one of those sentences they are doing. Like, it named the atmosphere, and it gives the examiner a wide shot, first of all, before they zoom in. Guys, from one sentence, they are oriented, they are following you, and they are already giving you credit. But honestly, this student never gave them that. So everything after it landed like a noise. The second mistake, the location word trap. Guys, this is everywhere and it kills your flow every single time. Go back and count how many times she said on the right, in the middle, on the right side, in the background, in the foreground. Guys, just one time or two times, okay, makes sense, but we don't need them more. I'm not saying never use this location language, guys. Yeah, they are useful. They help the examiner follow you, but they are only tools. They serve the sentence. They don't replace the content of it. When every sentence starts with a location word, two things happen. It sounds like you're reading a map. In the middle, there is a boy in pink. Okay, okay. By the way, you don't need to necessarily, with details, talk about what they were to. In blue jacket, in red pants, okay. One or two times again, okay, but not for every character. Then, let these on the right, in the left, they carry forward. So, these locations, they are not keyword for task 3. Or if you just describe what they were, it's not again the keyword. But these are the keyword, while or meanwhile. I want to hear them, please. Simultaneously, at the same time, while this is happening, something else has happened. Actually, those words makes your response feel like a story, not only a scan. Now, character selection. Actually, this is where most students threw away their 60 seconds. They spend time talking about objects like eggs on the counter or the bulletin board. Guys, you should ask yourself, when you tell someone a story, do you describe the furniture or objects or jacket? Or do you talk about people? Because people have faces, guys. They have intention. They have stories. And task 3 isn't an inventory. This is a conversation about human beings. So, how do you choose your character? This is really important. You don't need everyone, guys. 3 or 4 character maximum. This is plenty for us. Very important. Pick the ones or characters whose face tells you something. There is a feeling, whether they're confused, tired, determined, happy. And this is very important. Choose characters that they are doing something at the same time, simultaneously. While she was talking with her, she was looking at someone else. And the last one, choose characters that they are connected to a bigger frame, to a bigger theme. Like in this photo, for example, the theme was community and the teamwork. So just choose characters that they are related or pointing back to that. People with stories, remember, not objects with names, okay? Thank you. Now, this is the most important layer, the so what layer. Guys, the single biggest gap between CLB 6 and CLB 9 plus is that a CLB students like her tells you what they are, just listening. But the CLB 9 student just tells you what it means, the hidden meaning, like they support the characters. The template is 3 steps, where they are, what they are doing, and most importantly, that almost everyone skips, is that why does it matter? Let's listen to these 2 differences between CLB 6 and a CLB 9 version. The sixth one said, in the foreground, there is a woman, she's cutting vegetables. Okay, we know that. But the ninth version, in the foreground, there is a woman wearing an apron, okay, who is, please make your sentences more complex. Honestly, task 3 grammatically is a bit limited because the only grammar that you can use is present continuous. However, by making your sentences more complex with who, that, which, instead of using 3 short sentences, combine them, make it one by using who, that, or which. So, like here. Okay, I mentioned the location. What is she doing? She is wearing an apron, whatever. Who is carefully chopping vegetables. Again, which suggests she is handling the main ingredient preparation and making sure everything is ready before cooking begins. I look forward to this why part. One or two supporting sentences that assures me, okay, she or the actually students, they know what they are talking about. They know what we want. And now the examiner has context. The detail has a purpose. It connects to a bigger picture. You can use these ready-made phrases for supporting your characters. Like, something is happening which suggests something else. Or it seems like, seems is a very good keyword in task 3. Someone is trying to do something or a specific goal, which means a positive outcome will happen soon. Or since I'm observing something is happening, there might be a consequence for that. Now, the conclusion. Guys, pay a close attention here because the sample you have just heard, the student never got that point, never reached that conclusion that I'm looking for. She was still listing, naming different characters, insisting on talking about every single characters there. Still scanning on the right, in the left, in the foreground, in the background. And silence. They just stopped mid-description. No final thought, guys. This is a disaster with no landing. And that silence is one of the most expensive mistakes in task 3 that you can do. As the conclusion isn't a formality, guys. This is something that you have to add in your sentence, the most powerful sentence, actually. This is the last thing the examiners hear. So remember one thing. Your conclusion, guys, it shouldn't summarize. However, it should again relate or goes back to the wider shot that we start in the intro. Every character and every action, they should be connected to that single human idea, the common ground. So far, I start with a bigger picture, with a wider frame, talk about like, okay, many individuals, they are doing different activities. I chose the most important characters, which is really important, how to choose and who to choose. I start describing them, what they are doing, and most importantly, I supported my ideas. I talk about so why layer. And now, in conclusion, again, we have to refer to the intro. And again, we have to connect to a wider, bigger frame. Look at these examples. So overall, again, the picture captures a busy moment, a chaotic moment, where many activities are happening at once. Or overall, it seems like a typical day in a lively public space. Or overall, the scene feels chaotic, tense, undisciplined, with everyone walking or with everyone enjoying their drink. So again, a common ground that those characters that you already talked about, they have in common. Now, let's talk about the spin, the central theme of that photo. For example, in the photo, it was the community service, the teamwork, the generosity, that people giving their time for something bigger than them, for a charitable maybe service. So that was the central theme of the task 3. Like overall, the scene feels warm and purposeful, with everyone contributing something different toward one shared goals, which is my main point. end with the shared goals, end with the common ground, with one sentence that makes everything before it feel intentional. Like your response was going somewhere from the very first word to reach that point. And without that point, without that sentence, you leave the examiner with nothing, and nothing doesn't score you. This is exactly one that connects every mistake that you just talked about. And every strong task 3 response, guys, has that spin, that central theme in the end. The central idea that running toward the whole 60 seconds, especially in the end. Like in this photo, it was the community, as I mentioned, it was the teamwork. In another photo, it might be the tension, it might be the celebration, it might be whatever. And your only job, your only task is in those 30 seconds of preparation time to notice what is that main big theme, to find it. Because once you find the spin, the whole response builds on itself. Your introduction plants it, your character supports it, and the conclusion returns it to whole, unique, coherent text, which is exactly what I love to hear. And now it's the time to see a perfect CLB 12 sample with the same photo, same 60 second. However, this time, every single sentence plays a job. Let's see that. In the intro, it starts with we told you to start with the setting. This image captures a lively moment in what appears to be a community center kitchen. Okay, the setting named, where a large group of people, they are working together to prepare a meal. That's the common ground. Before even she starts describing the characters, the examiner is oriented. Like, we understand what is the whole wide frame. The scene appears to be crowded, and many individuals instead of people, they are engaged in different activities. Guys, this is a ready-made perfect phrase. You can use it too. And yet everything feels organized and purposeful. Now let's move on to the characters, the main characters, from the most important one. So we are ranking them kind of. So the first one would be the most important character. In the foreground, there is a young girl wearing pink who seems to be grating potatoes, while I mentioned choose those characters that they are simultaneously doing 2 different things at the same time. While beside her, a woman is in an apron is carefully chopping carrots and other vegetables on the table. Since both of them, they are focused on ingredients preparation, it seems like this event is well organized, with each person assigned a specific role before the cooking even begins. I talk about the so what layer here. Since an observation, there might be a consequence or there might be a result. So they are not just listing, they're giving the purpose, the hidden meaning behind each character. Meanwhile, I start my second character with meanwhile. Nearby the sink, a young boy is washing leafy greens carefully, which suggests, so what? Which suggests the group is paying close attention to food, hygiene, and quality. Okay. In the previous sample, we heard that she mentioned the same thing, that, yeah, she's washing lettuce. However, we say the same thing. The only difference was is that we add the reason of that. Because of food hygiene and quality, that is the priority for this team. He is carefully washing those. Next one. Moving toward the middle of the scene, I noticed a woman in a pink sweater who seems to be mixing something in a bowl. Possibly, please use possibly, shows the probability, guys, in task 3. You're not sure. Possibly, seemingly, they are perfect. Possibly a butter or sauce. While a man in green sweater stands close by, perhaps supervising or waiting for next step. At the same time, on the right side, you don't need to mention the location necessary. An older gentleman is carrying a tray of small cups, likely distributing portions or ingredients to different situations around the kitchen. In the background, several more volunteers, volunteer is another keyword in that photo, they are visible near the cabinets, suggesting that this is a large-scale effort rather than a casual gathering. Now, the most important section, the conclusion. Overall, we should finish with the wide shot. This image powerfully conveys the spirit of community service. People from different generations volunteering their time and skills to prepare food, their common grounds, whether they are preparing food, mostly likely for those in need. And remember, a gift from me. Whenever you see a clock on the wall, like in that photo that you saw, it was 5 p.m. There was a reason that the examiner put that time over there for you to give a hint that the working time is gonna finish really soon. So in task 4, when you're predicting, you can mention in an hour they will go home and the place will be more empty. Thank you. So here is what I need you to walk away with yourself today. 1, your introduction is your frame. Name the setting, name the mood, give the examiner the white shot. 2, position words are just tools, not sentence starters. Use them to guide, not to replace the main material. 3, choose only 3 or 4 maximum characters with real stories, with facial features, with doing 2 things simultaneously. People over objects always. And 4, every character needs a so what layer. So where, what, and why. Never skip the why. 5, your conclusion is the most important part of the whole task 3. Find the spin, the central theme, and land on it. And remember, task 3, guys, is not a complex grammatical task. You can only use present continuous or simple present maybe. The only things that you need to be careful is the structure, the purpose, something that is like a communication, not lists. If today shifts your idea about how you should approach task 3, that's why I came here for. It's worth mentioning at Certified Canada College, where we are a team of CELPIP examiners, we have a perfect program held in 5 Saturdays, in 5 weeks, and with just one-time registration, you will be able to participate in 3 different cycles, 5 weeks. So if you have a very busy, chaotic schedule, if you're a full-time worker, you don't have enough energy or you don't have enough time to send practices, to send mocks in the first cycle, we are giving you the chance to practice in 2 more cycles, making sure you're fully ready for CLB 9 and unlock that 100 extra express entry point toward your PR. Book your free consultation for free through the link below, where we give you the full personalized, perfect roadmap for free. Hope to see you on the other side.